it's Froggy, and welcome to another top 10 tier list. This time we're doing Gen 5, and I'm here with Fuzz.
Hello, it's me.
We haven't done a top 5 together, so we just had to this time. Briefly on how this works, we're going to go through each of our top 10, starting with our number 10 and working our way up to number 1, and we're going to be comparing our Pokemon and talking about them, and yeah, and going through the Gen 5 Pokemon, I realized that I don't like a lot of them. I was able to make a top 10, but it's a little shoddy.
And it's crazy because that's the generation where they introduced the most Pokemon.
Yeah, I just didn't find them that interesting. There's some that I really love, but
I mean, that's fair.
The generations, I don't... Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a bit of a shift in design philosophy around that generation too, and it did not land for some people. I will say the majority of them did not super land for me, but I was able to crack out a top 10 without much issue.
I mean, there's some Pokemon that look very similar in style to the original 4 generations, but yeah, you're right. There's some that are just a little too different, where it's just like, I don't know.
Like the world's most muscular clown, Conkeldurr.
Oh my god, I do not like that line. They're not in my top 10, spoiler alert. But, although their names are really funny, I just, every once in a while, I'll just be sitting, and I'll just be like, all by myself, and I'll be like, Conkeldurr. I don't know, that one just, it's funny to me. What a dumb name. Anyways, so you ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in my number 10 spot, I have Duosion. I like him better than I like Solosis, and I like him better than I like Ranunculus. Is that how you say it? I don't think he's in...
Reuniclus.
He's not in Gen 5, is he?
Reuniclus? I think it's Reuniclus.
Reuniclus?
What? I mean, they're all Gen 5. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that the last evolution for it came out in another generation. Either way, I don't care for him as much either. Duosion's pretty cute because now he, like, instead of just being a head with a little swirly on it, he grows like a little body with tiny little nub arms, and he's just sitting in the gel going like la 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 la. It's very cute. I'm not a big fan of psychic types, though, to be honest. They don't tend to feature much in my top 10s. Or even in my top anything for Pokemon, really. They're one of my least favorite Pokemon types.
I feel like psychics are probably one of my top 5 types. In terms of their design,
like, there's a couple of psychic Pokemon where I'm like, yeah, they're pretty cool, but, like, not enough to be, like, in my top 5 typings.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. A lot of the time, when I realize I have, like, top typings, it's not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't prefer... Like, I have a couple of preferred types, but it's mostly as... an accident of like, oh, a lot of my preferred Pokemon tend to be this type. Like water type. I don't really hold any particular affinity for water type, and yet so many of my favorites are water types. But that also might have to do with the fact that there's just a ton of water types compared to the others.
No, I get that. I've got a lot of favorites that are normal type, like Meowth being, my top favorite Pokemon for so long, but I don't have an affinity for, like, the normal typing. Same thing with flying. I really like a lot of the flying types, but flying isn't one of my favorite typings.
True, and now flying is also one of those ones that's got such a wide net on it that it's really hard to be like...
There's only 1 or 2 Pokemon that are fully flying type, right? It's like Rookidee, I think, is... Oh, is he the only one? Or was there another one?
Thundurus or Tornadus, I can't remember which.
Yes, that's right. There was just the 2. There was just the 2. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you see them featured in all of the bird Pokemon pretty much, but it's like, that's
yeah,
it.
but like there's, like I said, it's more of like a wide net thing, right? Like you get the Hoppip line too, that are flying type that you don't think are. There's Mantine, it's a Manta Ray, flying type. Like they tack flying type onto so many different things that it's hard to really have a consistent identity for the type. Right. Anyway, my number 10. is, speaking of flying types, Braviary.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to be in your list. I thought it'd be higher, honestly, because you always go on about how much you like Braviary.
It is one of my favorite flying types, but that's not saying much. I just really like giant birds of prey. I think it looks cool. I think it's got a really cool design that doesn't stray too far from Pokemon.
Yeah.
Rufflet is adorable.
Okay,
The
Rufflet is
reason
pretty cute. I just don't like
the
Braviary.
Here's the thing though, is my top 10 list also has a lot to do with the usability of the Pokemon. Because if I like a Pokemon, I want to play it with it in the games, right?
I mean, that's
I
fair.
can't, I cannot do that with Rufflet. Because, let me see, Rufflet evolves at level something ridiculous.
Like
It's like
32?
54. Level
54. Oh
54.
my
Level
god.
54, yeah. Just looked it up.
Yeesh.
So Rufflet evolves at level 54. That is post Elite Four in like 8 generations out of 10.
Jesus.
It is unusable because it's got such a low base stat total that if you try to actually use it in combat, it
Yeah.
gets one shot by anything that's even somewhat like capable.
Yeah, yeah.
So 0 marks on usability. However, very adorable. And it's, in the non-main generation games where, or like the spin-offs, right, where level discrepancy doesn't matter too much and base stat total doesn't matter too much, easy choice every day of the week because I love my little Rufflet guy and I love Braviary, and he got an amazing regional form in Hisui, which made him psychic flying, and I like psychic type. I know I just talked about typings earlier, but I do legitimately like seeing interesting psychic types.
No, fair enough. All right. So moving on to number 9. My number 9 is Keldeo. Because
Okay.
I really like the mythical Pokemon. Most of the time, the mythical Pokemon, I find their aesthetics very pleasing.
That's
And he kind of gives me like My Little Pony vibes, and having grown up with My Little Pony, just kind of like, is a little thing in my heart. Now, I've never actually had Keldeo in the
No, he's
games.
very difficult to obtain. So
Yeah, but I really like his design. I don't like Virizion and what is the Cobalion. I do like Cobalion, yeah, but I do like the Terrakion. The big
Terrakion.
He's the big buff, like looks like a dog bull thing, right? I like his design. His design almost got him into the top 10 just because I find like he looks like a big tough guy, but I feel like he'd be like that really stupid dog from like what is it? No, not Doug. The really dumb dog that gets featured. Like, there's this really dumb. Anyways, I think he's from like Warner Brothers or anything, but it's what he reminds me of. But anyway, so back to Keldeo. So he's got a water fighting type. Water types are okay for me. They're like mid. I really like fighting types. I don't really care as much for the fighting like typing, but there's just a lot of fighting type Pokemon that I really like, and he is one of those, which he doesn't like. You wouldn't think that he is, but just by looking at him, because he's too pretty.
Fighting type does seem to be one of those types that you like by accident, like I was talking about with my water.
Yeah.
Where like you don't like fighting as a type, but there's a fair number of Pokemon that you like that happen to be fighting. I think in Keldeo's case, because in Japanese, if I understand correctly, the translation for fighting type is hero type.
Oh.
And that's kind of what they're going for with the Swords of Justice.
How is Mankey a hero? Come on, Mankey and Primeape aren't heroes. They're just boxing monkeys.
Listen, I never said that they consistently applied it, but
yeah. Well, I mean, he definitely is a hero. It's because he's part of the Swords of Justice, right? So he's got like the big sword horn.
Now, if I remember correctly, there is some lore about how he's like the outsider, because I mean, there's the 3 that you catch in game, and then Keldeo's like its own separate event Pokemon. That I don't remember the lore behind. There's a movie about it where basically he's just like, oh my god, I'm your biggest fan with like the first 3, and then he joins them somehow. I think.
Are the other ones?
I have not seen the movie.
Are the other 3 also mystical Pokemon or mythical? My bad. Are they all? Or are they?
They're mythical. Legendaries? They're mythical in the same way that Suicune, Entei, and Raikou were in Gen 2, where they are roaming around the map and you have to catch them.
Okay.
And there's only the one of each. And then if you run into it and it escapes, you have to go to a different area to try and find it again.
No, they count as legendary Pokemon. I just looked it up. So Keldeo is a mythical Pokemon who is part of but the trios are always legendaries. They're the legendaries of that game, and then you've got like the other one, just like how the 3 birds are legendaries in the first gen, but then Mewtwo and Mew are the mythicals. And then you've got your pseudo-legendaries.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the definition again because I don't quite remember the distinction between legendary and mythic.
Because you said it was the dogs, right? Entei?
Yeah, well,
he's a legendary.
I said, they're in the same category as those three. I don't know whether that's mythical or legendary.
No, they're
I guess
legendary.
it's okay. So then they're
So Keldeo is the one who's
deal.
outside of it, and because he wasn't a part of the original trio, but is still part of it, he's the mythical because he's the one who's outside of the trio.
Gotcha.
Just like I think. Anyways, yes. So you go ahead with your number 9.
So my number 9 is Gigalith. If you recall, he's the Golem replacement. Evolves by trait evolution, quite literally is just the same as Golem. However, I like the design a lot better. I just like my big rock boy.
Yeah, that makes sense for you.
I'm a sucker for rocks. Not even necessarily rock types. And
just rocks in general.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of my list is based off of usability.
Mm-hmm.
Gigalith carried me through 5th generation.
Fair enough.
Once I finally got one, it was like I was using Boldore for like the first bit, and then after I finally found someone to trade with and I got a Gigalith out of it, he did not leave my team for the rest of that game. Just a solid Pokemon, reliable, loved it.
Yeah, because Gen 5 was that Black and White?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I never actually played this one, so that's part of the reason why I don't have like a solid top 10, because I never played it, so I didn't get like to get really bonded with any of the Pokemon like I did playing the other games.
To be fair, I also include, like, there's a lot of Pokemon in my top 10 that I didn't even touch when I first played Gen 5, and then I didn't fall in love with them until later generations where I used them in a different game.
But that's it, but you used them, and that's why. Yeah. So, like, I've got the same thing. There's a couple of Pokemon in here that I did use in games that followed, so that's why I've got some attachments, but because I didn't get to play with all of the Gen 5 Pokemon when they were available, there was just so many other Pokemon to choose from that, like, I didn't gravitate towards them in the same way. But, yeah. So, from number 8, my number 8 is Joltik.
That's cute.
He's a cutie! He's a total cutie, and he's electric type, and I really like electric types. And he's so teeny tiny, it just goes on your shoulder and rides around with you, right? So he's this little buddy. Now, Garvantula freaks me out so much. I would use him, though. If I did have actual Pokemon, I feel like I would get a Joltik and then still evolve him. Because I feel like if I got used to it, I'd be okay. But just looking at him just as he is, like, I remember evolving a Joltik for the first time and then meeting Garvantula for the first time. And I was just like, my initial reaction was, ugh! You went from this cute little babu to that monstrosity. But,
wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I did end up liking Garvantula the more I used him. But, I mean, Joltik is just adorable, and I love adorable things, so... Yeah.
Also, you would need to evolve it if you had one, because Joltik is only
he's so squishy.
He's like an inch wide, very easy to accidentally squimsh. So
yeah, well, that's why he'd ride on my shoulder. I'd either have him in his ball or I'd have him on my shoulder.
Fair enough.
Although he is a tick, so as long as he doesn't bury himself into my skin, I guess.
I don't think he's that kind of tick.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right. Shall I do my number 8?
Yeah, go for it.
My number 8 is Golurk.
Oh, okay.
Also including Golett in this one. I just like the entire line.
Yeah, Golett's cute too.
It's another situation of I really dig the aesthetic. A very neat idea for a ghost type.
Yeah.
I'm not usually big into like a possessed object style ghost type Pokemon or possessed object Pokemon in general.
Yeah.
But Golurk hits it for me because it's literally modeled after what is supposed to be a spiritually possessed automaton in, golems from fantasy.
Yeah.
Right? And also from Hebrew mythology. Just going to throw that in there so people know I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, because that's literally what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like...
Yeah. And I love the idea of it having like its own because regular golems are just meant to literally be basically fantasy robots.
Mhm.
And Golurk is not just a robot, it's a creature with its own internal like workings and its own thoughts.
Yeah.
And Golett is just a cute little boy and I love it. And he's round. And I fell in love with Golurk and Golett in actually Gen 6 in X and Y
Mhm.
because I was back in the day, you would chain hunt for shinies. So you would do, I think you could still do it now. It's been a while since I've tried.
Yeah.
Where basically you try to encounter the same Pokemon over and over and over again, and the higher you get your encounter chain, the higher the chance of you finding a shiny.
Right, yeah.
So back in the day, I was trying to shiny hunt an Eevee, and I got into probably like 20 encounters or so, which is like all near guaranteed shiny encounter at that point.
Yeah.
And I broke my chain somehow, and I don't have any idea how. And rather than an Eevee showing up, a shiny Golett showed up
Oh.
instead. So it was just like, psych, you thought I was going to be an Eevee. Actually, I'm a Golett, but I'm still shiny, so here I am, bro. And I do actually quite like shiny Golett and shiny Golurk's designs. I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
I used that Golurk the entire rest of my playthrough. His name was Mr. Fister. I think it helps that he's got the giant fists and he has punching moves and punching abilities. So
Yeah.
big fan of this guy.
Yeah.
And also he turns his arms into jet engines. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, he's cool. That's why he's my number 7. So...
Oh, nice. Do you want to know my number 7?
Well, okay, fine. What?
Galvantula.
So we had it. Oh, yeah, I like that. Kinda... That's funny. That's really funny.
Galvantula, for all the reasons you said, I still love Joltik.
Yeah.
I like Galvantula a little bit better. I think it's just Joltik is a little too basic of a design, I think, for me. That doesn't make it bad. I still love it.
Yeah.
But I think I just have a preference for Galvantula.
I get it. I just think that, yeah, I mean, I totally get it. But at the same time, I like the little basic designs, and I think he's just super cute. But I also really like, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and having grown up in Australia, I'm not quite so afraid of the giant spiders.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like, it was funny how that worked out. Golurk is really awesome, and it was the same as you. When I played X and Y, because that was the first time that I had come into a Pokemon game since the second one, because I just didn't, I stopped caring for Pokemon for quite a while, and then all of a sudden I came back into it, like, years later, because it's, X and Y looked really cool. And, yeah, I got a Golett there, and then I turned him into a Golurk, and I thought he was the coolest thing, because he basically was just this stone soldier, because he reminded me, like, I know that he's supposed to be like a fantasy golem or whatever, but to me, he reminded me of, like, those haunted suits of armor.
Oh, I see what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what the, oh my god, what are their names in Scarlet and Violet? Armor Rouge and Ceruledge are kind of based off of too, I think. As well as Mega Man, but...
Well, but, yeah, but that's what it always reminded me of, and I was, like, really into, like, Harry Potter and, like, those kinds of fantasy things, so I saw, like, the haunted suits of armor a lot, so that's kind of what it reminded me of, because he's supposed to be like, I am your big, tough soldier, or whatever, and I really liked it, and of course he's a ghost type, and I love ghost types, and any kind of dual ghost type is really great, so I liked his design, like, honestly, his design was really baller, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll move on to number 6 then. Yep. So number 6 for me is Tepig.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I had to get a starter in there somewhere, and the other starters are okay, but they're not my favorites. Tepig, I think, is the one that I would have picked if I would have played Black and White, because he's just super cute, and I actually like... A lot of people don't like Pignite, and I actually quite like Pignite, but Tepig is just... He's cutest. He's the cutest, and I'll always go for what's cute, and he's cute. And he's a fire type, and I really like fire types, and I almost always go fire type for my starters, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I like grass types, like grass type better than water type as far as, like, the types themselves go.
Yeah.
I think, like, 6 or 7 out of my 10 starters have been water type, however. So I tend to keep drifting towards the water starters for some reason.
I very rarely go for the grass starters, now that I think about it. It's usually back and forth between water and fire, and I think over the 9 generations, I might have chosen 2 grass types. Because I chose Grookey, and I think I also chose Chespin. No, wait, who was with Chespin? What other Pokemon
Chespin was Generation 6. That was Fennekin and
oh, no, I chose
Froggy.
Fennekin. I did not choose Chespin. I know I chose another grass type. I just don't remember who. I'd have to actually go back and look at all of the grass types.
Did you choose Sprigatito in Scarlet and Violet?
Oh, that's it. That was it. No, no, it wasn't. No, I did choose Sobble.
Oh, you did choose Sobble?
Yes.
I'm a Fuecoco guy myself.
Well, I know. Yeah, I knew you choose Fuecoco. No, I think I did choose Sobble. Shoot. No, I can't remember then. I don't know, but yeah.
Sorry, no. Sobble is. I'm getting mixed up.
Sobble's not
is
from
Sword and
line.
Shield.
That was he was with Score Bunny. Score Bunny and
Grookey. Yes. So you took Grookey. At least the first time around.
I think so.
Because I remember I took Sobble in Sword and Shield, and I grew to hate Sobble and reject it.
Oh, well, yeah, because I hated Inteleon. No, okay, so if you chose Sobble, then I didn't. Then I did choose Grookey.
You chose Grookey.
Because we chose opposites.
Would have been Quaxley for the water type.
Quaxley.
And I know you did not choose Quaxley because you thought he was really creepy.
Okay, so it was Sprigatito and Grookey that I chose as my grass types.
We are getting very off topic, by the way.
It's okay. We're talking about it. It's fine.
You'll find out all about this in the separate starter tier list video that we're going to be doing that I've just now come up with and committed her to.
No, that's okay. We got this. Okay, keep going. So what's your number 6 then?
My number 6, just as a spoiler alert, I don't actually have a starter in my top 10. I did not care very much for the starters in Gen 5.
That's fair.
My number 6 is Sawsbuck.
Wait, isn't Oshawott one of the... No, you don't like Oshawott.
No, I love otters. Oshawott doesn't do it for me.
Anyway, Sawsbuck. Sawsbuck is good.
Sawsbuck. Yes.
I
like
the
seasonal forms.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And I finally actually used it, not even in a mainline game, in a fan game called Poke Rogue. And I managed to basically obtain a high-level shiny of one of those, and it was just a beast. An absolute train that just ran through that entire game for me. So that Poke Rogue really helped me fall in love with a lot of Pokemon I didn't otherwise use. I'd never touched Sawsbuck before that, and since then I have included it in a couple of run-throughs, and I'm just like, damn, this thing's actually pretty damn cool, and I love the seasonal change in its design. The Deerling is pretty basic as far as the changes go, but Sawsbuck is just gorgeous.
That's one of the ones where it's like, I think they didn't do any favors for Deerling and leaving him as basic as they did.
Yeah.
Because then they made Sawsbuck, and Sawsbuck has all these amazing different forms, and it's absolutely gorgeous the way that they did that. Seeing them in Pokemon Snap too was in the new Pokemon Snap was awesome. Like going through that one route and then seeing the seasons change and the different Sawsbucks all getting featured. I thought that was so cool. It was such a creative way to do it. No, I really like him, and he's not in my top 10 because I never used him, so I don't have like that affinity for him, but I really did like his design. I think the way that they did that was really gorgeous and clever.
When I went through my playthrough of Scarlet after I beat Violet, I included a Sawsbuck on my team because I just was like, well, I like to, when I'm doing my first playthrough of a new generation, I like to only use new Pokemon.
Yeah, no, understandable.
That are introduced, which, I mean, got absolutely feasting in Gen 10. I got to use Annihilate. Holy moly.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
anyways.
Sawsbuck was, easily on my team in that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 5.
So number 5 for me is Emolga.
Okay.
So before I got back into Pokemon, the games, I did watch a little bit of the newer, like Pokemon anime, and I really liked Emolga's personality. She was so flippin' saucy all the time, and I love that it's a flying squirrel. having grown up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, it was nice. It was interesting to see like a little sugar glider. Like I know she's not a flying squirrel, she's a sugar glider, but it was just interesting enough to see something like that where it's that similar, and the colors are really good. And I know she's like I'm gonna always call her a she because that's what I'm used to.
So,
But what?
sorry to interrupt, but Emolga is actually known as the Sky Squirrel Pokemon.
But it looks aesthetically, it looks like a sugar glider.
I would say it looks more like a flying squirrel, to be honest. But anyway, we can have this debate later. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Either
interrupt.
way. I just like the flying mammals. I think they're cool. So, and I like the coloration, and yeah, it's a Pika clone, but it's like one of the only Pikachu clones that I actually really liked. Because it's, electric flying. That's badass.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Emolga is not on my top 10. I will say I think it is a decent design, especially because the Pika clones were starting to get a bit stale.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with Emolga was I only ever like fought against it in the games because I never used one, and it is apparently like pretty decent as far as competitive goes, but my problem is it's not very good in the games because a lot of it is based around like status effects, which the NPCs, you don't have to be that tactical about them, right? As a kid's game, you just face roll them. However, the friggin' gym leader in Black and White had an Emolga, I can't remember her name, Elisa, I think it was. And that thing was the bane of my god darn existence because it's electric flying, so you can't hit it with a ground type, and I had a lot of ground types in Gen 5.
Yeah.
And the flying type also ripped me apart because I also had grass types. So, I think I started with Snivy. So that thing, I just remember trying to fight it and being all my stuff paralyzed, and then it would hit me with an acrobatics, and I'd get one shot, and I'm like, okay, I'm just not a fan of any of this. So I have a deep-seated hatred for Emolga. I understand design-wise it's pretty decent, but...
Yeah, but I like the fact that you can't go against it with your usual Pokemon.
Yeah, that unfiltered rage is just all that fills my heart when I look at one.
That's totally fair. Understandable.
So my number 5... is Ducklet.
Yeah, I knew Ducklet was going to be on your list, and I thought it would be higher because I know you really love Ducklet.
So my number 4 and number 5 are basically interchangeable. My number 4 has a bit of an edge because of the particular category of Pokemon that it is, but I like it about the same. Ducklet is just a cute little guy. I used Ducklet and Swanna in my first run through of Gen 5, and it's not like a powerhouse or nothing, but it can do the job, and that is all I really needed because I did not care for the Pidove line. I thought they were just ugly pigeons. Yeah. And I was like, now here is a cute little guy with a little bill and everything. And I was just like, it's wild that we don't have a duck Pokemon that's just like based off of an actual duck with feathers, because you have Golduck and Psyduck, but they got like skin.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah.
No, I get it. I actually don't really care for Ducklet's design, and I really don't like Swanna's design. I think Swanna's
that's
really
fine.
ugly.
I like both. I think Swanna is beautiful as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, see, I really don't like it. I think it's
taste.
Ugly. Yeah, that's exactly. Like, I know people are going to probably come for me in the comments and be like, well, you think blah, 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 blah. Yeah. To each their own. I don't know. Just never did. I also just don't like swans. I do think it's very
funny, though, that
birds.
Ducklet and Swanna are literally meant to be like the ugly duckling story.
Yeah.
Where the ugly duckling grows up to be the beautiful swan, and you're just like, that swan's ugly.
Yeah, Ducklet's cuter, but even Ducklet's not that cute to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Never really did it for me. So number 4 for me is Yamask.
Okay, that makes sense. You do like your Yamask.
I really like Yamask. Again, he's a ghost type, so that is it for me. And it was the same thing as Emolga, because I watched the anime, and while I hated Team Rocket, I loved the Yamask they had, because he was this cute, sad little guy, all the time, and then I used him in one of the games later on, and then he was also on my Infinite Fusion team.
That's
So
fair. Infinite
yeah.
Fusion is a good way to fall in love with some new Pokemon as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think he's really cute, and I did like his evolutions. Like Coffee is really cool, and oh, there's that other one. What's the other one's name?
Oh, you're talking about the Galarian one?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
that's Galarian Yamask and Runerigus.
Runerigus, that's right. And he's got the Yamask has a little rune stone instead
Yeah.
of the mask. Man, the evolving Yamask in the Galar game is
It's nuts.
so stupid.
That is
Like
such a
how does anyone ever
crazy.
figure that out? It took me
That one
forever to
had
get it.
to. That one had to have come from a data mine. There's no way anyone found that out organically, except
Right?
like by accident. And even then, I would have only just assumed it. You have to level him up under this rock, I guess, or under this specific place. I thought it would just be a regional thing. The fact that it has to take a certain amount of damage without fainting before that would have never once entered my mind.
Yeah. No, that was nuts. That was so dumb to me.
If they ever do that again, I am
Man, I
simply just
hope
not going to use that Pokemon.
Yeah, because that was really annoying. Like there's a few that level up really weird, but like that one took the cake for me. I was like, that is freaking stupid.
What gets me is that Sword and Shield, where Galarian Yamask was introduced, was the same generation where they swapped Eevee over to the Leaf Stone and the Ice Stone for the sake of evolving into Leafeon and Glaceon.
Yeah,
because
so they made those ones easier.
They were like, we didn't want to handcuff ourselves into requiring an ice rock and like a mossy rock out in the overworld on every single game going forward where Eevee was, because Eevee's a mascot of the series, one of the, like maybe number 2 behind Pikachu, right? Like,
but this means that they can never have a Galarian Yamask in any other game because of that.
Well,
it's that one specific landmark.
Galarian Yamask is in Legend ZA. They just have a different landmark that it is. But what this also means now is you're handcuffing yourself.
He's in ZA? I haven't found him yet.
It says here in its thing that it's in ZA.
Oh, what the
I'm
heck?
wondering if it's in the DLC, but
could be.
I might have just not seen it. Because I haven't gotten really that far into actually filling out my Pokedex in ZA.
Yeah.
But you still handcuff yourself into requiring some sort of geography that it can interact with for its evolution. It's the same with Charjabug and Vikavolt in Sun and Moon. It was required that you do it around like an electric rock, and I think in later generations they changed it to just a Thunderstone because it was starting to handcuff them, and now they're like, let's handcuff ourselves again. We remember how fun that was, right, everybody? So it's just it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well you made these design changes, which is great. I like using the Leaf Stone and the Ice Stone for Glaceon.
Yeah, no, that's great.
It's way more internally consistent too with their other evolutions, being stone evolutions. Now they've just still got the the friendship stuff with Sylveon, Espeon, and Umbreon. But I'm going on a rant, so let's move on to your number 4.
That I just did.
Oh, no, wait, your number 4 was Yamask.
What's yours?
Sorry, I was ranting again. My number 4 is Archon, another flying type.
Yeah.
He's a silly little guy. I love his design. I'm a sucker for fossil Pokemon. Love fossil Pokemon.
I know.
If I had a number 11 on this list, it would be Tortuga.
Oh, Tortuga was almost on my list too. I loved him. He's awesome.
I love him. I think it's just he is basically a worse Blastoise is the problem. Like the Caracosta evolution. And just he is so borderline unusable in combat because of his typing. That it's just I haven't been able to really do much with him. Archon, on the other hand, I love his design. He's a silly little guy. He's another Pokemon that unfortunately suffers from hard to use evolution. Not like he's difficult to evolve, but his evolved form is difficult to use because of the ability that it has, which is like after I think it's like after it hits 50% health, all of its stats just drop. So if you get hit like more than once or twice, because it's not a particularly bulky Pokemon to begin with, it is, you may as well no longer use it.
Yeah.
So you basically have to use it to get out there, deal as much damage as possible, and then you just sacrifice it. Um, Bulbapedia is not actually telling me how it evolves, which is crazy, because I'm pretty sure it's just a level evolution. I just wasn't
Yeah, I
sure
thought it
what level it
was.
was. Oh, there we go. Level 37. It does say.
Oh,
It's just
yes.
further down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not too bad. It's still kind of late for how low or for how weak Archon is,
Yeah.
as far as like its stats go, but it's doable, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, it's pretty low, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, our Archeops, is that this evolution?
Archeops, yeah.
Yeah, he creeps me out a little bit. Archeon is
It
great though.
has,
He's very cute. He's got like parrot coloration, but I think that's what the
yeah,
actual, because he's based off of like an actual like
yes,
prehistoric,
which I was
which
literally
is
about to get to as well because Archaeopteryx is one of my favorite dinosaurs from when I was a kid.
yeah.
I know technically it's not a dinosaur,
Well,
but
I know what you mean though, like a prehistoric bird.
yeah,
Just say
just
that.
absolutely one of my favorite prehistoric creatures, period.
Yeah, no, he's really cool.
And then they made a Pokemon modeled after it, and I'm like, not only is he like perfect design wise, he's a
Mhm.
silly little guy, and silly little guys have a great place in my heart
You do
when it
love
comes
your
to
silly
Pokemon.
little guys.
I love my silly little guys.
Speaking of silly little guys, my number 3 is
Oh,
Trubbish.
yeah, that makes sense for you.
Yeah, no, I
You love
love
your
him.
Trubbish.
I do. I like Garbodor. I think he's like. It took me a while. It grew on me because I did eventually use Trubbish and Garbodor in a later game.
Mm.
Um, I always thought Trubbish was really really cute, and my love for him started because one of my other friends really loved him, and I was just like, I don't know anything about it, and then I looked into it and I was like, he's just a cute little trash bag, and he just
Mm-hmm.
wants to eat your garbage and be friends, and he stinks probably, but like, you know, he's cute. And like so many other people like hate on him. They're like, it's a sentient bag of trash. Why would I ever? And I was like, oh, it's sad. You be nice to him. He didn't choose to be born this way, or be hatched this way from
That's
wherever
fair.
Pokemon come
And
from.
it is nice to see some Trubbish love because he got,
Yeah.
excuse the pun, his design got trashed so hard when it was originally like revealed in Gen 5 because people were like, well, now Game Freak's just lost all sense of originality as if they've never done like just random,
Sentient
scrap
things.
Pokemon, sentient garbage or whatever, cough cough, muck, cough cough, Magnemite, uh, you
Yeah.
know,
No, I
uh,
mean, yeah, you're
so,
right.
it's good to show Trubbish some love.
Yeah. No, he's super cute, and I would put a clothespin over my nose and give him a hug, and then take a bath afterwards. But
Yeah,
still, I
and then
love
take a
him.
quick shower.
Yeah, and then yeah, Garbodor is actually a pretty good Pokemon to use when battling as well, because he's like, I think they're poison type, so
Yeah, they're pure poison, so not a ton of
yeah,
weaknesses.
yeah. And I mean,
And
he's just
after
this
the
big bulky
introduction,
guy. He's actually pretty tanky, so like he can
yeah,
hold
and
his own,
after
which
the
is
introduction
nice.
of Fairy type, pretty solid counter to that as well.
Hmm.
And you're right, yeah, good bulk, which means field hazards. That's toxic spikes,
Yeah,
toxic in general. Like it's a good wall, competitive. Like I don't know about competitively how
well,
useful it is in
I
particular
don't
because
do competitive, so
but regardless, just still solid usable Pokemon.
yeah. So I really like him. Yeah, just he's cute. More love to Trubbish.
Hmm.
Trubbish is in my heart. Anyways, what's your number 3?
My number 3, and this was very difficult to decide between my 3 and 2, so it's again another one where they're interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
But my top 3 are head and shoulders above like 4 and below, as
Sure.
far as I'm concerned. Whimsicott.
Oh yeah, that makes sense for you.
Love a Whimsicott.
Yeah.
I Whimsicott carried me through Sword and Shield. I didn't even use it until that generation, I believe. I was like, well, I need a special attacker for my team, and Whimsicott has got like decent typing because I believe early on you get Cottony around the first gym because he's grass type and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, let's use this for once. We'll see how it goes. My God, Whimsicott, Whimsicott with Moonblast and Energy Ball, like
Yeah.
that right there was more than enough. And then it still had like good status effect moves, like it had Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, all
Yeah.
that all that nice stuff. And you could bulk up with Cotton Guard. Like, it was so versatile and yet such a powerhouse still.
Yeah.
Loved that thing. I've used it in so many other playthroughs since then. And he's just a fluffy little guy.
He's cute. He's so cute. I'll
Adorable.
give you that. He's adorable.
I don't really have too strong an opinion on Cottony, except that it is a stepping stone to Whimsicott, who is just one of my favorite Pokemon in general. Easily in my top 25.
Yeah.
Which I realize sounds like a lot, but there's over 1,000 Pokemon, right?
Yeah. No, I get it. Totally understand.
Whimsicott, A+, no notes, Slay Queen.
All right. Rein it in there. Rein it in, my guy.
And as far as usability goes, easy enough to evolve. All you need is a Sunstone.
Yeah, not too bad. All right, anyways, number 2.
Solid piece of work there.
So my number 2 is Leavanny.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Leavanny is my absolute favorite bug Pokemon. And I know I'm saying this with Heracross also being a bug type, but he's my favorite fighting Pokemon.
So that's a distinction.
Yeah. Which I know is that's really tough for me to say because I really love the Machop line. But Heracross is my favorite fighting type, and then Leavanny is my favorite bug type. So right there, she's in my top 18.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Sometimes you just like different Pokemon that serve different type roles.
Well, that's it. I think, the whole evolution line is really interesting. Like, Swaddle's, really cute and sassy, and then I think it's Swadloon. And then Leavanny. But Leavanny, I think, is, my favorite, just because she looks so graceful, and if I were, a Pokemon trainer or something, and I was, doing bug type or whatever, I would have her, I'd be, a seamstress, because, you know how I like to do, my cross-stitching and my crocheting and stuff like that. I feel like I'd work with, fabrics and stuff like that, and she has, the silk threads, so she does, she would be, the top Pokemon for a seamstress with that spider Pokemon in the new game. The one with the silk. Forget his name.
Tarantula.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think she's very pretty. She's well put together. She looks graceful as shit, and she's actually pretty tough for a bug Pokemon. Because you don't get a lot of tough bug types. So getting someone who can actually hold their own is really good.
Yeah, stats-wise, Leavanny's not terrible.
Yeah.
It literally falls to pieces if a flying type so much as looks at her, but, there's always going to be weaknesses to some Pokemon.
Yeah, that's
like Whimsicott, if a poison type so much as even comes into the same room, it dies.
Yeah.
But here we are.
But anyways, yeah, so that's Leavanny's my number 2.
All right. And I mean, similar to how you said Leavanny's your favorite bug type, Whimsicott's my favorite fairy type. It's not my favorite grass type.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on what kind of role you're looking to see to fill.
That's just it.
So my number 2 is Bisharp.
Yeah, I figured Bisharp was going to be up there. I thought it would be number 1, so I'm interested to see what your number 1's going to be.
I think you'll be surprised by my number 1.
Probably.
But Bisharp is definitely one of my most used Pokemon ever, period.
Yeah.
Throughout my playthroughs. My number 1 just simply is not available very often.
Okay.
So Bisharp, because
Bisharp is your favorite steel type too, right?
It's close, but it's probably my favorite dark type unless I'm forgetting something. But it's definitely up there in both types.
Yeah.
It is, and it's crazy too because I don't usually go much for humanoid designs. I know this is my second one within my top 10 here, but think about how many humanoids were in Gen 5. It was a lot. But this is it's one of those things where because it's a construct, I kind of give it a pass. Because this really is kind of like that possessed suit of armor, but they've got that chess, that chess aesthetic to it almost.
Well, yeah.
Where you've got pawns and the bishops and the king for King
See,
Gambit because they gave him an evolution.
He never really came off to me as like a suit of armor, like a haunted suit of armor, because he's got like a clear face. He always came off to me as a samurai.
I mean,
like a
that's
chess
fair.
piece
And
samurai.
The Pokemon Company would agree with you based on his evolved form.
Yeah.
So that's fair. That's just how I always kind of hit the vibe with it. I always kind of looked at more of like a military commander type thing because that's how.
Well, I mean, samurais are part of the
wild.
military. They're.
Yes, I'm aware, but like when it comes to how they function in the wild, it's like each squad of Pawniards has one Bisharp, and then when that Bisharp dies or loses a battle, another Bisharp or Pawniard evolves to take its place as the commander. So it's like this constant structure, and it's just really militarily organized. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's got like this warrior vibe. Combat wise, 4 times weak to fighting type. It is what it is. It's still very, very, very usable. Even Bisharp has a good stat set, very good move set, good type coverage, and I've had it in pretty much every game that he was available since Gen 5. I've always had one that was like part of my team that carried to the end. And that's crazy to say because I just trashed Rufflet for being for evolving too late at level 54. Pawniard doesn't evolve until level 48. That's barely a difference.
Yeah.
But it's enough where I can still get a Bisharp
before you go to the Elite Four.
Before the Elite Four and all the legendary fights. So it kind of feels like, because so much of that game, so much of the, like a lot of Pokemon games, the story-wise, it happens after that like level 45 mark.
Yeah.
That it just feels like they're there in your party for longer. And Pawniard is still pretty usable for a good chunk of the game before that. It's really only that like level 35 to 48 range where you kind of got to baby it a little bit. But once you hit that 48, it's another carry on your team, right? It's back to being one of your primary pieces.
Yeah.
Whereas Rufflet needs that support starting at like level 20. So it's just it's less of a gap, so I kind of overlook it a bit more. I also just like the design. Anyway, I've been talking long enough. What's your number one?
So my number one is Chandelure, which no surprise.
Oh yeah.
No surprise.
That shouldn't surprise me at all. I forgot that was Jen.
He's Ghost and Fire type, and those are my top 2 favorite types. So of course he's one of my absolute favorite Pokemon. He is my favorite Ghost type Pokemon of all of the Ghost types. So I think it's interesting how, like, Gen 5, I don't like the majority of the Pokemon in it, but at least 2 of the Pokemon in Gen 5 are some of my, like, ultimate top Pokemon. And I'd even say Chandelure is in my ultimate top 10 of Pokemon. And his entire line is fantastic. I love the designs. Litwick is a cutie. Lampent took me a minute to grow on me, but like once I started using him, I was like, yeah, you know what? I actually pretty like him. And then I got Chandelure and I was like, this thing is gorgeous. Okay, this thing is gorgeous. I like its shiny. I like its original form with the purple and the black. It's got like this gothic aesthetic to it, but like he's awesome. And then he's got a Mega now, right?
He does have a Mega now,
which is awesome. And
that is a something that our number ones have in common. Is mine also got a Mega in Legends ZA.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think he's fantastic. Like, it's an amazing Pokemon. And yeah, I don't generally like the sentient objects. That's not usually my thing. But with it being a ghost type, like a ghost candle, a ghost, like it doesn't even seem like a sentient object to me. It just looks like...
That's the thing, yeah. It's one of those where, like, yes, it's clearly object inspired. And you're right. I don't usually care for the possessed object Pokemon, but
when it's a ghost type, when it's a ghost type, like possessing it, that's what it feels like. It's like because you see it in media all the time, a ghost possessing an object to interact with the human world. That's what this feels like.
Honestly,
rather than just like a sentient ice cream cone.
It feels like with Chandelure's design, it feels like it is a ghost that looks like a chandelier more than it looks like a chandelier possessed by a ghost. Does that make sense?
No, I totally
So
get
like
it.
I
Because it looks
I
like it
feel like
belongs in a
that's
gothic house. Like a super gothic, like haunted, hasn't been touched in years house that you would like go into like with your friends sneaking, like breaking into an old abandoned home. You'd find that there, like filled with cobwebs and shit. Like that's what it feels like to me. So just he's aesthetically pleasing. His typing is great. He's got fantastic stats. I really like Chandelure. One of my absolute favorites. Love him.
Fair enough.
All right, what's yours?
It is a solid one. My number one is Drillbur.
Okay, that does kind of surprise me, but all right, go on.
So, like I said, not super available in a lot of the sequel games after Gen 5, so I didn't get a whole ton of opportunity. I love Drillbur, straight up. The immediate second that I saw Drillbur in Gen 5, I was like, I must have it. And it's a little bit difficult to actually obtain one, because the encounter rate was low, and you needed to do, like, it needed to be in, like, those little dust clouds or whatever in Gen 5. But I went through and I got one, and Excadrill is, like, this is a 2-for-1. This spot is held by both Drillbur and Excadrill. Drillbur is just a cute little guy. He is my son, one of. Right? Like, you can't help but love the little guy. He's so happy, and he's got just such a positive attitude. He's such a clean design. Excadrill is just Drillbur in his edgy teen phase, and I love it.
Yeah, no, he looks cute.
This is when we find out I'm also a sucker for steel types and ground types. Because this is what now it's the second steel type just in my top 2. It's difficult to find a Pokemon that I like better than Drillbur design-wise. That same goes for Excadrill. I think Drillbur is probably my preference. And now Excadrill's got a Mega, which is bonkers if you've seen it. It's that super drill that pierces the heavens. Friggin' anime style. And I can't say enough good things about Excadrill's design. Solid typing defensively.
I don't like his shiny. I like
you don't like his shiny?
I like
That's fair.
I don't like Excadrill shiny. I think it's ugly. But I like Drillbur's.
It's hard for me to really care much about the shinies unless I have one. So that's fair. I didn't really consider shiny designs until outside of Golurk, really, because that's the only one I have on this list. But it just overall usage of Excadrill, and I mean, Drillbur is, it's a little soft as far as its stats go, or in game, but it's not so bad that you're having to baby it to get it evolved, and it evolves early enough that it's not a nightmare to try and evolve it.
Yeah, because he levels up at 31, which is still sooner than some of the other Pokemon that level up like 35, 37, so he's still leveling up quick enough to make up for his little bit of squishiness.
A little bit of overlap between like the level 24-ish to 31 range where it's like, okay, we're kind of struggling a little bit here, but it really depends on what generation you're playing too, because some of them have different leveling curves.
Yeah.
But Drillbur and Excadrill are just 2 of the most perfect Pokemon ever created.
I
will die on that hill. And here's the messed up part: is Drillbur's not even my favorite ground type because Cubone exists.
Yep, no, Cubone is the best. Like, Cubone's been your favorite for all the years I've known you.
Cubone has been my absolute favorite Pokemon for a very, very, very long time. I don't remember having a favorite before him. So that's a very tough crown to snatch for Drillbur, so I won't fault it for not being able to, but he is at least in the throne room.
And this just tells me that Gen 1 is the best generation, so.
Okay, well.
Your favorite Pokemon is from Gen 1, you can't say anything more about it.
Because
you can't fight me, I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to die on this hill. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Bye!
It's not a game.